that brings in an interesting discussion. You have a book that you've touted many times called Arts and Physics, and one of the central theories of it is that science prefigures, no, rather, art prefigures much of science. So there are certain paintings that he uses an example of something that came about in the sciences.
Yeah.
Now, some of the statements that he makes in that book are very fallacious, but such as that Jackson Pollock is a great artist and that his bird shit paintings meant this and that and led to this and that. But you were stating how art, well, it doesn't have any real world implications, but you do agree, however, that it may have some indirect inspiration into different fields that make, because it is such a high communicating device, allows others to see certain things. For instance, Melville, well, he was certainly an artist first, at least in his novels, prefigured a lot of what the scientists in Copenhagen would later come to realize.
Yeah, and I mean, someone could read Melville, or someone could read a book of mine, or some of my poems, and maybe a kid who's going to be born in 20 or 30 years reads something that I wrote, and he becomes a great artist, and then he writes something that maybe inspires someone who becomes a president, who ends up uniting the world in one, global uh, political force that's actually where people are treated fairly, and people get paid their due because maybe they were influenced by some poems that I wrote about working class characters and their sufferings or something. Yeah, it can have those indirect butterfly effect like effects. But like I said, Picasso didn't end the Spanish Civil War, and nothing I could write could stop. Could influence an election. Say, yeah, if I was a reporter and I wrote something, but that's not art.